Styrofoam? Nice. All right. All right. So it's just like putting me in my place. Like things that I never would have heard. Like, who has these conversations? I never would have known this would have happened, but it's happened 5 more times. The door is all done. The door's all fixed. And what I took from that, like, first, I was definitely the doubting Thomas that needed, like, put your finger in my hand. You know, you don't believe? All right, I'm going to make you do it. And it's because I kept asking. I was like, Lord, you know how hard I am. I can't do this. I can't do this unless you really show me. He did it. So I asked him. So that really started helping me get in those conversations. I'm like, why can't I do this for everything in life? Like, I fixed the door better than I would have ever fixed it. And that was because of through prayer. Why can't I do this with my relationship with my girlfriend? Why can't I do this with my studies at school? Why can't I do this through my job? Why can't I do this when I just walk down the street? Obviously, he knows how to fix the door better than I do. He could probably fix this better than I can. He could probably go out and have fun more than I could. He probably knows my life a little bit better than I do. So that's when I started to just be sold out, all in, you know. This is what's going to make me happy, Lord, I know. So about a year later, after engineering, that's when I quit, became a focused missionary. So that's where I'm at there. So with this prayer, like after Africa, you would think like I'd be a prayer warrior, but no, it's hard. It's hard to like stay in it, even though like this miraculous thing happened to me, and I should be thankful. And I remember staying, and I heard somebody else speak about this. It's really good. So if God's the shepherd, maybe some of these people heard, so they describe Jesus as the shepherd. You know, he has his sheep, and we're his sheep. And then the devil's depicted as one of the wolves, right? So when a sheep, you know, hops around out of the herd, what happens, like, how does the wolf want to attack that sheep? You know, does it go for its legs so it can't get back? What does it do? So when that sheep's all alone from the flock, the wolf goes for the throat. Because if the wolf goes for the throat, it cuts out its vocal cords so it can't call to the shepherd. Because the wolf knows without the shepherd, that sheep is toast. But the wolf also knows with the shepherd, the wolf is toast. So it's just kind of like knowing that. That's why in nature, the wolf goes for the throat. I mean, if that's the description of Jesus being the shepherd, us as the sheep, the devil as the wolf, then it's obviously apparent without God, we're much weaker. The wolf is much stronger than the sheep. And what does the wolf go for first? Vocal cords. What are the vocal cords? Prayer, your communication with God. That's why prayer is so hard, because the devil knows so much that it's the vocal cords that gets him into trouble. Once you're like, help, I need help. It doesn't have to be anything big. It doesn't have to be anything hard. Lord, I need help. That's it. Boom. He hears you, comes after you, and he gets rid of that wolf for you. It's that easy. But sometimes we want to make it harder on ourselves. So just by knowing that, that's really helped me to like start praying more and more. And then just to finish off on traditional prayer, I know a lot of people are like, well, I know some prayers, like, but that's not like prayer from the heart, is it? So traditional prayers, like if they're like sought out prayers, if they're like prayers before dinner, or like, you know, the rosary is a big one for Catholics. Different prayers that are said, like, are those bad because they're not from your heart? Those are the prayers from all these people, much holier than us, that were their way of getting straight to the heart. And we use those prayers to get into the front line, Jesus Christ, because these people found a way to get in the front line of Jesus Christ, and they passed down that knowledge down to us. So when we use that, don't just stop there because you're at the front of the line. That's when you can start having that conversation. You know, after these prayers that are written out, use those. Use those to step in the front of the line. And then once you're done with that, then just pour out your heart. You know, that's your opportunity to have that conversation. And when you have that conversation, it's not a, okay, this. It's just like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. What do you think? Stop. Listen. You know, you're never going to hear anything if you don't listen. And as weird as it might be, it happens. And just imagining this, like, some of you guys are going to go home, you're going to try it out, and this is what it's going to be like. Hey, God. Name's Joey. Yeah, okay, your name's God, cool. I'm from Arizona. Oh, you know the place, small world. I mean, today was good. How was your day? I guess your day was pretty darn good. You are God. And it's just going to be awkward as heck. You know, it's like when you're at that stage and you're talking to that opposite sex, it's like, hey, you're pretty, we should go on, oh, dang. Can I get your number? No? I'll come back next week, though. You better be prepared. And that's the same thing. We learn these relationships with people. Use that knowledge of how you get confident with making new friends. When you get confident making new, I already said it, friends. But do that, and do that with God. It's gonna be awkward as heck at first. But once that friendship starts turning and that awkwardness gets over it, it becomes real good. So that's all I gotta say. And that's it.